On December 19th of 2023, an internationally recognized, prominent Southern California fertility doctor, I mean someone that brings life, to this earth, actually was convicted for taking the life of his wife. That happened in 2016. It took 2.5 years to arrest him. Finally, he's been convicted and he will be sentenced in March of 2024. So I wanted to bring you this case because you will not believe how someone like him, Dr. Eric Sills, who has so much academic experience that the list is just too long to even go through. He was really good at what he did. Clearly not a smart criminal. In fact, so snark-worthy because you will not believe the stories he made up about what really happened to his wife. Kind of like, oh, it was dark, she fell down the stairs. Or the dogs did it. Literally, that's one of the reasons he gave. So, before we get into the case details, welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K. I hope that you will consider subscribing at some point during this video if you are not yet and become part of this wonderful community. And now, let's start with who, where, and what happened. Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. So this happened on November 13th of 2016 in San Clemente, California. It was a beautiful home with a power couple living inside and their twin kids, a boy and a girl around the age of 12. Now, the wife was Susann Sills, and she was born on July 30th of 1971 in Philadelphia. She went on to the University of Miami and got her MBA in International Studies. And then a year before her murder, she had actually co-founded the Center for Advanced Genetics and IVF and Fertility Clinic in Carlsbad, California, with her husband. Now, Dr. Eric Scott Sills was born in Roane County, Tennessee. He went to Harriman High School, then the Vanderbilt University, then he got a medical degree at the University of Tennessee at Memphis, and then joined the medical faculty at Cornell. He has published papers in all his research, books, very well known. He even appeared on the show, which you might know, called The Doctors, and that was in October of 2016. So 1 month before he murdered his wife, he appeared on the show. Let me show you a clip of that, especially so you could see his body language. Very stoic guy. No real expression going on here. Okay, so have a look at this little clip.
It's a very unique concept. We actually have Dr. Scott Sills here, an OBGYN who's also a fertility specialist. So we've made a lot of advances in medicine, but I certainly never expected to be able to say, take a woman who is 60 years of age, gone through menopause, and say, oh, we're going to reverse course here and you can have babies again.
It all centers on a procedure called platelet-rich plasma. And what happens is, if you think about when you were a kid and you scuffed your knee up, and as the tissue heals, there's this straw-colored fluid that comes to the surface of the skin. Well, in that material is white blood cells, platelets, growth factors, and you can fractionate those growth factors and use that to help promote growth of other cells all over the body.
I thought I'd show you confirmation that his license was revoked. Notification of court order. On May 25th of 2022, an order was issued in the People of the State of California versus Eric Scott Sills, Orange County Superior Court, case number 19HF0572 by Gregory W. Jones, judge presiding. Under the order, as a condition of bail, Eric Scott Sills, MD, Physicians and Surgeons Certificate number G88985, is prohibited from practicing medicine in the state of California until the final disposition of the criminal charges pending against him, or as a condition of probation in Superior Court case number 19HF0572, effective May 25th, 2022. A copy of the order is attached. They also put this out on X. Okay, so now let's get into the story of what happened here. An Orange County fertility doctor was convicted of second-degree murder on Tuesday, that was December 19th of 2023, in the death of his 45-year-old wife. They were married for about 10 years, okay? Despite the defense's suggestion that she had received her wounds by accidentally tumbling down the stairs during I know you guys in America say migraine, we say migraine in South Africa, attack, and then falling prey to the family's rambunctious dogs. Did you hear that whole sentence? Can you believe it? So it was November 13th of 2016, and a 911 call was made around 6:30 in the morning. This murder happened at around 5 a.m. I don't know. When it's these like early morning murders, that is also just so crazy to me. Like before coffee, before even starting your day, this is what you're doing? Like I can't even. Anyway, so big argument. Apparently, their son had heard them arguing from around 4 in the morning. Susan had actually gone to sleep, allegedly in her daughter's room, probably to get away from this hubby. Clearly now we know why. And then this big argument broke out between the two. Clumps of her hair were found in the bedroom where they'd been arguing, which I assume would be her daughter's room based on everything I've read. And there was some blood on the drapes, which of course the defense was like, that could be from anything. It could be from an exposed nail on the side table. Yeah.
That's right. And the doctor's wife was found dead in the home behind me. Her husband allegedly told detectives that when he woke up, he found her at the bottom of the stairs, dead from an apparent fall. But now, 2.5 years later, that doctor is facing murder charges.
So Eric Scott Sills and his wife, Susan, ran a fertility clinic in Carlsbad. He as a medical director and she as a managing partner. They lived with their 12-year-old twins in a $1 million home in San Clemente on the morning of November 13th, 2016. Dr. Eric Scott Sills calls 911 and he said he woke up and discovered his wife unconscious at the bottom of the stairs. You know, it was dark, okay, so maybe she fell, is what he said. And here's how he worded it. He said, "We've got a patient here who's fallen off the stairs and I don't have a pulse." A patient. So he didn't even say, "Hey, my wife has fallen down the stairs. I need some help." He said, "We've got a patient here who's fallen off the stairs and I don't have a pulse." Oh my word. They say he went into doctor mode. Yeah, I think he went into ice cold psycho mode or something. I don't know if this is just doctor mode because that is so bizarre that he talks about his wife who's just been murdered and he's staged as if she's fallen down the stairs. And he's calling to say, "We've got a patient who's fallen down the stairs." So he told the emergency dispatcher this in a recording played for the jurors in Orange County Superior Court in Santa Ana. Now, I wish we got to see this trial. I can't find it anywhere. It looks like it wasn't televised. And I don't like that. I like to watch trials with you guys, and I'd love to hear that 911 call and hear how he said that. Then he said, "I think she tripped because it was dark." Are you rolling your eyes like me? Because what? So this home where the family lived was a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3,300 square foot home. I mean, you can see from the outside, it's absolutely beautiful. I particularly wanted to show you the stairs inside in case you are like me and you're a visual learner and you want to maybe see what it looks like. So I found this on Zillow. I think it's the correct address. It seems to be from what I researched. And so this is what the staircase would then look like. And so this guy, Dr. Sills, would have staged the scene as if his wife had fallen down these stairs. And then when he called 911 and they asked her to put her on a flat, hard surface, he actually propped her foot on that bottom stair to make it look like, look at her, she fell down here. He also made up some reason that she, struggled with a spine injury. And he said that she fell and probably couldn't breathe. And that's how she died from falling down there. There's many reasons that his defense also gave during the trial. I mean, I've already listed a few of them, but they really tried everything to try to prove that she just fell down the stairs and the prosecution can't say how. But the thing is, of course, the coroner proved she did not die from falling down the stairs. She died from strangulation. So even the fact that they make up this little thing about the dogs pulling at the scarf tells you that they know. They can't hide from that evidence. That is just, evidence you can't argue. So these are the stairs. I mean, what a beautiful house. I hope the kids are okay now. I'm not too sure where they are right now. But I hope that they're doing okay out there. Okay, so more than 2 years later, after an investigation by the Orange County Sheriff's Department, prosecutors charged Sills with her murder, which the whole community was shocked by. They had all supported him, candlelight vigils surrounding the family with lots of love and support, and they're like, what? She didn't fall down the stairs? This guy murdered her? Wow. So 2 pathologists identified strangulation as the cause of death.
Obviously, whatever was going on in there was hidden to all of us, I guess.
This man killed his wife and hid it pretty well, because it took a while to bring him to justice, Deputy District Attorney Jennifer Walker told jurors. While the couple presented a facade of normalcy, she added, people do not know what is going on in the privacy of relationships. Oh, and that is just so sad in this case, because from the outside, it really did look like picture perfect life, power couple, twin kids, they had it all. They just co-founded this amazing practice, but apparently there were some money struggles and she really wanted out of this relationship. It seemed like he was smothering her mentally before he even strangled her, because she texted him and said, "You're killing me, don't you see? I just want out of this marriage." That's such a sad red flag. Walker argued that the doctor had strangled Susann Sills during an argument, and then, realizing that his children were asleep in the house and he could not dump her body, scrambled to stage her death as an accident. Walker emphasized the position of her body when authorities found it supine below the staircase with her right foot splayed on a lower stair. The emergency dispatcher had instructed Sills to place his wife on a flat, hard surface to attempt CPR, but the prosecutor said that he deliberately left her foot on the stair because he wanted that connection to the stairway. Walker argued that as rescue workers were en route, this doctor, who helps people create life, burned time by pointlessly searching for his pulse oximeter rather than trying to save his wife. "Oh Lord, where is my pulse ox?" Sills is heard saying on the 911 call, his distraught children audible in the background. What Sills did not have time to do, the prosecutor argued, was to clean up the signs of a bloody struggle elsewhere in the house. In one room, the drapes were splotched with the defendant's blood, a piece of evidence the defense suggested, okay, get ready to eye roll, might have gotten there innocently at an earlier point due to an exposed nail on the nightstand. Yeah, okay. Sills, 58, did not take the stand in his defense. His attorney, Jack Early, sought to persuade jurors that there was an alternate explanation for Susann Sills' death. He says, she had a migraine for 2 days, 3 days, the defense attorney told jurors, arguing that she hadn't eaten in a day or two and had the benzodiazepine, Valium, and the opioid painkiller Tramadol in her system, which might have left her disoriented on the stairs. "We don't know how she fell," he said. The couple's son Eric initially told police that his parents had been arguing in the hours before his mother's death. Now, 19, he appeared to retreat from that claim when he took the stand at the trial. I would argue probably because he's really scared. But who knows exactly where in the house it happened and what he heard and saw. It's also been quite some time, right? The defense attempted to explain the signs of apparent strangulation. Now listen to this, you guys. Are you ready? Okay, buckle up. Okay. The defense attempted to explain the signs of apparent strangulation on the victim's body. As Susann Sills lay at the bottom of the stairs, one or both of the family dogs somehow loosed from their overnight kennels had tugged at a rayon scarf around her neck. Oh, what? Can you believe this? That's one of the reasons? So the doctor says, it was dark. She fell. The defense says, could have been medication. She was disorientated. Or it's that scarf. Yeah, she had a scarf and the dogs were tugging at it. Oh, man. Walker, the prosecutor, pointed out that it would have taken minutes to kill her in this way, but the scarf had no tears or holes, and that Eric Sills had made no mention of dogs in his 911 call. She derided the defense's account that his wife had fallen down the stairs as if in a soundproof pinball machine without waking the family, and then was strangled by her dogs. prosecutors did not provide a motive for the killing, a weakness in the case that the defense repeatedly emphasized. But they don't have to prove motive, right?
That makes me feel scared.
According to the couple's text exchanges, however, there were signs that they had fought bitterly in the months preceding Susann Sill's death. There was friction about work, friction about her husband's children from a prior marriage, which he had to pay alimony for, and other sources that I've read say that sometimes they fought a lot over money, and that was a point of contention. And also friction about his temper. See, now there's a red flag for me. Friction about his temper. She literally wrote to him, "I will never be free ever. You are killing me. Don't you see? I just want out." Oh dear. This sounds like a guy who had smothered her mentally before he strangled her. Another source of discord, the prosecutor argued, was his apparent chagrin that she had posted a topless photo of herself online after losing a bet. Is that the reason he killed her? I don't know, Walker said, but perhaps he's done with her embarrassing him. So apparently she was in this online group and they were making bets about who would win the Republican nomination for the 2016 presidential race. And she had made a bet that Trump would not win. And if she lost the bet, she would post a topless picture on this group. Well, she lost the bet, and so she posted this racy picture. I wish I knew the exact date that she posted that, because I think that had a lot to do with his temper that day. Because, did you know that he actually printed out that conversation with the group and that picture? He had a printout of it still in his printer. So this guy went to all the effort to try to stage the scene as if his wife had just fallen down the stairs, and he put her foot on the bottom of the stairs and everything. But didn't think about the clump of hair, the blood on the drapes, and then also this left in his printer. And then he wants to claim it was dark. She fell. The dogs did it. They strangled her. Oh my word.
They seemed like an average San Clemente family.
Rochelle Brannon is shocked. Her next door neighbor, she's known for years, is now being charged with murdering his wife.
It's upsetting, to think that you have a pretty good perception of someone and what their family life is like and who they are, to find that you don't really know them at all.
Investigators say 54-year-old Dr. Eric Sills, a well-known fertility doctor, killed his wife Susann when she was 45. That was almost 3 years ago. At the time, he told detectives she fell down the stairs. Neighbors remember rallying around Sills and the couple's 2 children. Before the investigation revealed in 2017, her death was a homicide.
The kids would come and go. It seemed, yes, like over the course of the last few years, he just was facilitating a normal lifestyle.
We were starting to think as neighbors, how could that be an accident? So it was kind of weird.
The jury deliberated for a day before reaching its verdict of second-degree murder, rejecting the prosecutor's argument that it was first-degree murder involving premeditation. Sills, who had been free on bail, this guy got a $1 million bond and bailed out.
Eric Sills was arrested last week on his way to work.
Of course, he's got lots of money. Was taken into custody after Tuesday's verdict. So thankfully, he didn't flee anyway. He could have been a flight risk. It's amazing he didn't go anywhere, but he had an ankle monitor apparently. So he faces 15 years to life in prison at his sentencing hearing, which is scheduled for March 15th before the Superior Court Judge Patrick Donahue. Again, because the whole trial was not televised, I have no idea if we'll be able to see that or not. But I put the date in my diary, and I'd like to see what his sentence will be. I wanted to show you the latest press release from the Office of the District Attorney, Orange County, California, Todd Spitzer, for immediate release, dated December 19th of 2023, where they said San Clemente fertility doctor found guilty of murdering his wife. Santa Ana, California, a 58-year-old fertility doctor was convicted today of second-degree murder for the fatal strangulation of his wife, whose body was found at the foot of the stairs in a staged accident at their San Clemente home in November of 2016. E. Scott Sills was found guilty by a jury today of 1 count of second-degree murder. He faces a maximum sentence of 15 years to life in state prison and is scheduled to be sentenced on March 15th. On November 13th, 2016, Sills called 911 and said he awoke to find the lifeless body of his wife 45-year-old Susann Sills after she apparently fell down the stairs. Evidence presented at trial showed that she died due to strangulation, and bloodstains were found on a wall and curtains in their daughter's bedroom where Susann was sleeping due to a migraine. A clump of her hair was also found in the room, indicating that there had been a violent struggle between the couple. And then there we have a quote that I read to you earlier. And he said, again, think of how diabolical you have to be, not only to kill your wife, but to make it look like she'd fallen down the stairs. He also said, I'm grateful to the jury for the verdict and the diligent work by investigators and Senior Deputy District Attorney Jennifer Walker for holding him accountable for his reprehensible act. It's just unbelievable to think that they were married for 10 years. They just co-founded this company. Yes, she wanted to get out. That's what she was indicating. They had these 2 kids, a boy and a girl, twins, a power couple. And then this happened. I mean, I wonder what that argument was really about. I wonder if we'll ever know. I would speculate it's about that conversation and that little printout, because this guy left a lot of clues behind, right? But now not only did the children lose their mother, but they've also lost their dad. And the 2 other kids also. Thankfully, they're adults already, but still, they lost their dad. Their dad is sitting in jail, waiting to be sentenced, 15 to life. I wonder what he'll get.
Because I know there's 2 kids there. And I remember the whole community came together and they were giving them food. Do you remember that? We didn't even know them. And I remember seeing them at Halloween one time and they were all dressed up. They seemed pretty happy.
Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer said in a statement after that conviction, Dr. Sills was sworn to care for the sick and injured, and his chosen profession as a fertility doctor helped bring so much joy to his patients. But the woman that he vowed to love in sickness and health was strangled to death by his own hands. Think of how diabolical you have to be, not only to kill your wife, but to make it look like she'd fallen down the stairs. It took calculated planning to commit this crime, and worst of all, he ruthlessly and selfishly murdered the mother of their children who are now left without their parents. Let me just quickly do a little bit of map time to you just to show you the area in case you don't know where it is I'm talking about. Okay, firstly, if you guys didn't know, I'm living over here in the Netherlands. Okay, this is where it is. Some people think New Zealand. It's over here, the Netherlands up here. I'm from South Africa, okay? South Africa over here. Now we're going all the way this way. We're going west to America, to the west coast. There you can see San Diego already. Okay, let's zoom in. Here's Los Angeles. And if we keep going, look, here's this beautiful area called San Clemente. And if we go here, look at this neighborhood. It's so beautiful. And this is apparently the house where it happened. So I'm just going to put you here. This has been shared on media posts and things, so it's not like a big secret. It was very easy to find. So I just wanted to show you the house from the outside so you can see what I mean. Like, what a beautiful house. Look at this. This area actually reminds me a lot of some areas in South Africa. A lot of the houses and communities actually look like this. So yeah, this is the house. And as you can see, there's many houses that look quite similar in this area. Beautiful, big houses, a nice, safe area. You could imagine, you know, kids cycling around here or rollerblading or something. Shame. So yeah, Villa Cancion. Hope I'm saying that right. And look at it. It just looks so peaceful, so beautiful. And to think what happened in that house is just horrendous. I wonder what's happened to the house now. Because, of course, as we know, like in the Idaho case, sometimes they're going to demolish the property, right? Other times, houses like this might actually be sold to new owners. I hope they disclose to them what happened there before they sell it to them. Because they really should. And we've heard cases sometimes when they don't tell them. That's horrible. You got to tell people, okay, what they're getting into. Otherwise, their neighbors look at them like we saw in Sarah Boone's case, right? We saw neighbors asking people who moved into their house, like, do you know what happened here? They're like, you're brave to move in here. They're like, why? They're like, you don't know what happened here? Like, no. Shame. Okay, so now I've shown you that. That's all we know about the case so far. If I find any footage, any documents, the 911 call or anything, or if you have any of that, please send it to me, grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com, and I'll keep you posted. But for now, as I say, March 15th of 2024 is in my diary. Let's see what type of sentencing he'll get. What do you think he'll get? And do you agree with the jury with a second-degree murder charge just based on what you know? I know we don't know all that much because, of course, we don't have the probable cause affidavit now. We don't have any of the trial footage or anything to review. But based on what you know, do you agree that it's a second-degree murder charge and that he should have been found guilty for that? And what do you think the sentence should be? Leave a comment below. I'll always like hearing your thoughts and reading your comments. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.